Hello everybody and welcome back to the Mezzanine Floor series. In today's video we're going to get the plasterboard sorted and the tongue and groove flooring on top. Let's get going. Right, so just to give you an update, fill you in of what's been happening between episode 3?
Yes.
Three and 4. I have taken down the support, well the electrician moved out the trunk in. I took out the support, I got 2 bearers in from underneath. I also got an extra bearer down against the side of the OSB there to finish off that edge. So that's now supported in 4 places along its length. And I also got another bearer down on this side here. Couldn't quite get it to the end.
It's disgusting.
It's really annoying, I know. But
so we've got perfect end there and dreadful end there.
I couldn't move the drill press across enough in order to make it work. Yeah, it's a bit annoying, but I'm sure we'll get used to it. I'll just hang loads of guide rails from it and then you won't see it anymore.
Very true.
So, the other thing I've also done is this plasterboard. I have cut it to the length of this distance, so to this beam to the front edge here. 3 panels are cut to size, so we should just be able to go and then this final one here, we'll just need to lop off the end and cut that to final length. Obviously it's not that easy because those things weigh about 100 kilos. But yeah, I've done a lot of preparation for this. I also cleaned the workshop. It's quite nice, isn't it? Right, so 3 panels are up. Pretty happy with them. Pretty damn happy. So we've got one final 4th one to do now, which requires cutting to size, and we've got to do a little bit of a notch around that plywood there. And on this one, Rob's just pointed out, we have no capacity to put any clamps on other than on the front edge. Fortunately, it's going to be lighter though, so we got that going for us. Yeah. And you're just finishing off the cardboard now.
Better measure this correctly, or I'm going to go bonkers.
I have a bad habit of measuring things wrong at the moment, don't I?
You do? Mostly because you don't bother measuring properly.
You know what I'm talking about?
You're an absolute idiot! You are an idiot!
What?
It's gonna do. It doesn't fit! I didn't think it'd be that bad!
Oh, it's how we predicted it, that's what makes it worse.
Oh, I knew this would go smoothly, this bit. I said it would.
Jesus Christ.
Shall we move it round?
690 700. That's what I measured. Oh no, wait. I measured 5900.
So here you see the mat
I don't want to talk to anyone.
in his natural habitat after yet again failing. This hole wasn't where it was meant to be. I was genuinely thinking, oh, it's gone so smoothly for you to actually make that shape and get that hole going.
And here we are,
Back again
chiseling more plasterboard.
into your workbench. What are you doing?
Oh, hello. What am I doing? Working out how many floorboards we need to purchase to floorboard out the floor.
Simple as that.
Is it really?
So we've got all of it up there now. Please ignore that gap.
It's a shadow gap.
It's a shadow gap. It's a design feature. Right, my mistake. Along with, okay, so we've got actual shadows and then a light gap.
Oh yeah, sorry, light gap.
Light gap, yeah, specifically. So we've got all of those up. We're going to put a beam across the front, double that up, yeah?
Yeah, so all the joists, well, none of the joists have deflection other than the one at the front because it's only supported from one side. So I'm pretty sure you're actually supposed to double up that one at the front, I guess. And
sorry, could you say that again and say, I'm 100% sure?
I'm 100% sure that you have to double it up. I'm going to see if we can do it with either a 9 or a 10-inch beam as well, just to cover the front edge of the plasterboard. And then we're going to buy a few extra ones to make the handrail, and yeah, floorboards and rock wool. That's it, really.
That's it, and then we'll have a mezzanine floor. Yes.
Yes.
Lovely.
Yes. Right, we've got 12 floorboards which are ready to go up there, and those of you who are giving me grief about not using a joist hanger, we've got a joist hanger up there. I've just installed it. Go have a look at how many screws I've put in it as well. I've really gone overkill. I don't know if there's a thing I'm like too much. Like,
no.
If you can put too many screws in, but yeah.
You probably just weaken the wood. That's
I think I might have done that. But yeah, we've got joist hanger in. Floorboards are done. We're going to now get some noggins in to fit these old light panels in place. And then we'll floorboard it. Hello. So, supporting beam is now up. I've just hung my fat ass from it and it hasn't come down, which is a damn sight better than it was before because we felt the tiniest bit of deflection on it. There is nothing at the moment. Absolutely nothing, and we thought we'd bolt it in rather than screw it just to make it look stronger. Not sure if it adds much, but certainly by having 7 bolts hanging from it, then you know it looks a bit stronger. So we've got that in. Now we're going to get one more supporting 2x8, 8x2 going up here to support this area where we've notched out round the cable. So that's going to lay directly on the front of this bearer there, and might take it all the way up to the top, might not, I don't know. We'll see if I can be bothered.
I mean, you could support it to the beam that we've just put up.
Yeah, I could support it to the beam that's just come up and maybe like notch it round. I don't know. I'll see what I can be bothered to do. But that will help strengthen up that area there. And then we're going to get 2 noggins in from underneath to fit the lighting panels so they can screw up from underneath and lay the flooring after that. And we should have the flooring done by the end of today.
Ooh!
Hopefully.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, hello.
No, thank you.
Right, so this is what I was going to do. We've got this screwed in between 2 joists up there, and I was going to get a bolt, screw up from underneath, like that, or drill up from underneath, through the plasterboard, through this flat noggin, there it is, washer, and then a locking nut on top of that. Originally I was going to just put a threaded insert in this, so then this bolt could be taken in and out if needed, but I've just realised that I've only got M10 threaded inserts and I'm trying to use an M12 bolt here. But we shall press on. Instead we're going to use locking nuts and some Loctite on it as well to make sure it is proper secure in there. As for getting the lights on and off, what we're going to do is machine down the head of this bolt so that it's perfectly round, so that it will fit in the top of this light. Because at the moment the main bit will fit in there but the head does not. So if I machine that down so it will fit in there, that will go in, this screw will then lock over that, and this will be screwed in from above, and it can also be pivoted on that section as well, which will be really useful in this area, because not only will I be able to direct it towards the workbench when I'm doing tutorials, but if I'm on the lathe, I can spin it round and then loosen these ones on the side, whoop, and flatten them down after that as well. So it'd be very useful. Very, very useful indeed. It means I get more consistent light around the lathe, as opposed to it going dark this time of day, which was always a nightmare during Turning Tuesday this time last year. So yeah, there we go. I'm going to start machining these down now, if I can get to the lathe.
And there is the light in place.
Oakley dokley. So it's now the next day, and me and Rob have been here for roughly an hour and a half, I reckon, and we have just been looking at our phones the entire time, trying to calculate live load limits. Very, very difficult to do. We've managed to find dead load limits for this joint spacing and joint span and all that. We've accounted for something between 0.25 to 0.5 kilonewtons per metre squared. But the live load is really difficult to calculate. We can't work out what strength or what weight this floor can take as a live load with that particular spacing of joist using C24 Timber. If any of you have any information on this, please let us know. Give us some reference that we can go back to, or just give us a number that we can work with. 350mm joint spacing, C24 Timber, 2 inch by 8 inches wide. That's all. That should be all the criteria I think they need.
Do they need the area of the floor?
Area of the floor, 4,400 by 3,500, I think it was.
And that's millimetres.
All in millimetres, not inches. One of the things that we have been wanting to try out properly is the deflection of the floor. And we have had a little test on the front edge just now. So what we did was, I mean, Rob can show you the lines. We put this beam there to start with. I'm not going to get it perfectly lined up. I think I'll struggle.
Oh, that's about it, yeah.
So that lines up with the bottom line. The line above it was the weight with Rob on it, and the line above that was me and Rob sitting in the middle of that joist, feet overhanging the edges, and it's deflected about 2 millimetres by the looks of it. 3 mil.
Yeah, 2 mil, to be honest.
So we calculated that, well, we looked at some information and it said that a maximum deflection of a floor should be no more than 1/360th of its overall length, right?
Yes, that was exactly it.
4,400 millimetres divided by 360 was about 12 millimetres, so we're doing pretty damn good at the moment. The other one we wanted to do, because we doubled up that joist at the front with the 2x9, 9x2, we wanted to calculate the deflection of the middle of the floor as well, and what we've decided to do was we put a spirit level in a designated position on the ceiling there, as marked by our masking tape, and because we're using a spirit level, it's quite easy to see if it's level or not, therefore going perpendicular. We line that up with a masking tape thing on the edge of the workbench and some masking tape round the back of the spirit level as well. And Rob walked up there and it deflected by another millimetre. I went up there, deflected by a millimetre. Unfortunately we can't do it with both of us, but I think it's quite safe to say that it's probably going to deflect by 2 or 3, the same as what's at the front there.
I mean, what's our combined weight then?
Our combined weight, I'm about...
Half a tonne?
Half a tonne? Speak for yourself.
You're a big boy.
I'm about 86 kilos, I think. I'm a dense man.
I'm about 60.
60, okay. So yeah, we're doing pretty good. But yeah, we just want a nominal number for what we can work with. Like, what is the live load limit per metre squared, let's say. That's what we want to work out, because I'm thinking about hanging that air filter from the front edge of this to prevent dust from getting up there, and it's just a nice place to hang it from because I can just use the remote control on it then. I can easily get the filters out if they need to change. Yeah.
Well, I mean, well, the other things we looked at was the dead load limit, and assuming, well, given that the extractor is not going to be moving at all, that's technically part of a dead load, and that was within the ranges that we found for that. So that technically should be all right.
Yeah, so dead load of the floor at the moment is, with the 22mm chipboard, 12mm plasterboard on the bottom, dead load I think was about 0.25 kilonewtons per metre squared.
I think it was even less. I think it was like 0.21.
It was less, yeah, actually. Plus the rock wall, let's say 1. The extractor air filter is 25 kilos, which let's say takes it up to 0.5 kilonewtons per metre squared, which is still within the limit of the joist span table that we were working with.
Yeah, so that all makes sense. So there's potential to get it up there, no problem.
Yeah, we're on the upper end of the limit. So considering that, let's say we're working with a 0.5 kilonewtons per metre squared dead load. What is the live load limit?
Yes.
That's everything they should need to know.
And if you think that we've got this all completely wrong, feel free to tell us, but please be nice. Please.
Yeah, it's true. We might be completely off there.
Yes, we've spoken a lot of numbers, and when numbers are spoken here, they tend to go wrong.
Tell you what, I will put all of the things in the description that a structural engineer out there can use to determine what we're working with. Yeah?
Yeah.
That'll work.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Everything's in the description. If you can help us out, it'd be great. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah, so what are we going to do now?
So, the job now, after much sitting down and debating, is going to be... go to Tesco and get some Cocoa Pops. Hello. This down here is what's called a chip extractor. So, we've got 2 options. We've got 1, pressure, or 2, airflow. The plan is to turn it on at the back there once the extractor's at full power, and my mouth stands right here. And I see if I can just eat them all in one hit. 3, 2, 1.
So after that brief distraction,
Which went very well.
it did do very well.
Very well. I've only just got the Cocoa Pops. Well, I've still got Cocoa Pops in my hair, to be honest. We are cutting the final floorboard to size, which is just a tiny little strip left over at the end. It's not going to quite go up to the wall because we need enough room in order to slide that tongue and groove in. But the sort of fake wall that's going to be covering that will, hide that joint that's left over. So that's not too much of an issue. It's going to plunge all this to size, and it's probably going to be the final cut this poor old blade does because it's really not liking this material at the moment. And then we'll rendezvous again afterwards.
Yeah, did you?
Okay, update. Rob has got the lights in position and organised the cables beautifully.
Thank you.
And they're all pivotable as well. Yeah, and obviously that one is directly above the lathe as well, so it can be angled down and illuminate the work as I turn. I have also just been round and added more of these wall anchor thingies. Pretty much put it all the way along all the bearers and all the supports, and they're now spaced about 250 millimeters apart, zigzagged and in the center, just all over the place on both sides. The other thing I've also done is doubled up these 2 bearers, because obviously we had to notch them out in order to take this electrical cable here. So to prevent any potential bending of that, doubled it up with another 8-inch beam here and then another 6-inch one here. And we're going to OSB the front over that, of course. And I'm thinking this could be a cool area to hang chucks, jaws and stuff like that. Because at the moment I'm just stuffing it into drawers down there, and it just gets a complete mess in there. So it'd be nice to have those on display ready to go. For the time being, Rob is going to, well, I'm going to cut this to size, Rob's going to fix that up there. I'm going to start building the extractor, and there was something else as well.
The wall.
The wall, yes. I'm going to start putting up the 2x4s to take the wall panels that will be adding at a later date, I think.
For the mezzanine floor.
For the mezzanine floor, that is, yeah. Oakley dokley. Very good progress today in this episode. Plasterboard sorted, chipboard sorted, strengthened it with bearers from underneath, launched Cocoa Pops into my face. Wall started to get insulated. What else have we done? Add that thing. That's quite a big bit.
That thing, yeah, I don't think we ever mentioned it.
No, I don't think we ever did, but...
that's quite cool.
Yeah, so, I mean, we've done a ton today.
There's an OSB sheet down there as well.
There is an OSB sheet down there as well. But thank you very much for watching, guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to press the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next one. Cheers.